Hello everyone, welcome to this adventure map series that I'm making as part of a Let's Build. I have already done quite a lot on the map so far, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to start myself from the beginning of the map, and then we'll just go through as if I was playing. I'll probably commentate on some parts just to explain what's happening, and then we'll come back to the start of the map and I'll just go through some of the bits just to explain what's going on. Bit of a word of warning, the dialogue is a bit cheesy, so be a bit careful of that. I don't really know why I said be careful, it's not going to hurt you. Or maybe it will, we'll see about that. Okay, I'm just going to drop myself in. This is the spawning pad. If you don't have command blocks enabled, you'll see this message over here. But obviously I'm on single player, so there will be. Let's drop myself down. This is obviously the first room you're going to start in. And there comes the rain. And we'll just click to get going. I did originally have it so that it would teleport you straight into this room because I want it to be a bit of a quick start, but I thought it might be a bit weird because you just go straight from signing in into here and then in about 30 seconds this happens. That might be a bit confusing. So instead of that I had a room like this. This is obviously the second one. This will appear if you die in the first bit. So then if you want a hint, you just press this button. And that's all there is to that bit. I didn't really want to have the first bit that hard, so that's obviously why I gave the hint. Don't want people to be annoyed 30 seconds in. So obviously the idea is you've been encased in this prison thing, you're in adventure mode so you can't break any blocks or anything. Redstone signal comes around. If you don't break this repeater in time, it goes through the wall, this will open up, you'll go down and die. You might have noticed what I was talking about the dialogue. Just bear with it. I'll probably change a bit of it when the time comes. I'm not really sure. Well, the problem I'm having is I'm not sure how the dialogue will appear in a custom adventure map. If it was an actual video game itself, I don't know. It might be a bit different. Okay, so obviously this character Sarah has unlocked this passage for you. And this is the first area you get to move around. I have some more dialogue coming up now. This is working with a proximity detector, so obviously if you go past that bit of the corridor, then this text starts to come up. And now as you get further down, then there's some more. So it just works. It's quite simple. I'll show you how it's done at the end. And then she informs you that you're supposed to jump down and escape. Hopefully that bit wasn't as confusing as it might seem it should have been. Basically as you jump down, you get teleported into a sort of a black encased room. The idea is it's supposed to be a time lapse sort of thing. You skip the time from that moment till the morning when you wake up in this bed. And then this nice man, Darius I guess, don't know what Darius is, that's just nothing really. And then he just explains that he found you at the bottom of the lake and everything. It's just explaining that you were calling out for the character Sarah, who was the one that was whispering to you at the start of the map. There's nothing in any of the chests or any of the furnaces or anything. I think I've put a few of them around. Obviously at the end I'll probably just put some food or something in them. And he's just told us to go and look for, I don't know, Chief Forest, it says somewhere there. I won't look for it, I won't spend ages looking for that. We'll see a few of these steins around. This is just for me as I'm developing it. This is part of how I decide what happens where. I'll explain how it works. Obviously these signs won't be in the final version. This is just the village. It's quite simple. I don't want to make anything too complicated for the first village because obviously this is just a woodland sort of village. Just keep it as simple as possible. Left that gate open, that was good. And this will be Chief Varus's house. Tower, I guess that's pronounced. I don't really know what I was doing for these names. I think I had a bit of fun with them. Chief has been waiting forever upstairs. I don't say anything to him. I don't know why really. I suppose I should reply. Might do that later. Left this door open as well. That wasn't very good. And this is Chief Forreston here. It is possible so that you can have an NPC or a villager or whatever stand in the same place forever. I do know how to do it. I just really haven't got around to doing it. When I did start the map, I didn't know how to do it, so this was just a temporary solution. Luckily, I did find out that it is possible, because then you don't need to have all of these slabs around, nothing in the chest again. I don't know if you're really keeping up with this text. It doesn't really matter that much. He's just explaining that he's already had word that you were calling out for Sarah in your sleep, and now he's talking about that she's dead, basically. And you can hear her from beyond the grave. And I think I left it as she needs you to finish something for her, or that we don't really know what's going on. Yeah, we'll leave it at that. Okay, we're back at the start of the map. I'm just going to try and go through a few of the things. I don't really want to spend too much time explaining how everything works, because I'll make a really bad job of it and everyone get really annoyed. This is Seth Bling's spawning pad. I won't explain how that works, I'll just link in the description. He has a video where he explains what it does and everything. These are just the command blocks that are set every time when someone logs in. So command block up at false, don't want people seeing what command blocks are doing. Keep inventory true so when you die you don't lose all your items. Game mode 2, which is adventure mode. Mob grouping false, so creepers and things can't blow everything up. Do mob spawning false, so creepers don't even spawn at all. That's just in case, basically. No, we won't have animals spawn anyway, but that doesn't really matter. And that teleports you into the prison white room sort of thing. And set the weather to rain for 1,000,000 seconds. That's just... I kind of wanted to make it so that it sets kind of an atmosphere rather, when we get to certain parts of the map, so I can change the time and things. Just so it gives... I just want to control as much as I can to make it seem that it's not just an adventure map really. Okay, this is how the prison sort of room works. I'll just start from the beginning and just follow one line of redstone around, explain briefly how things work. Okay, this is the clock that is constantly testing command blocks just to see if any levels or if any players spawn in certain places. This is the main testable command that tests if a player is inside that specific spot in the room. There's also a command block down here, that's the beginning of the dialogue. Okay, as we come around here, there's another one down there that sets the spawn. That's basically if you die, you spawn in one of those rooms over there. That's simple enough. This is just all of the delay that makes it possible to have because it starts splitting here, I need things to happen at the same time on each side. There's another one here, okay, I remember what this one does. That's just more dialogue. Okay, when we get to here, I guess here, this is where the actual dialogue takes place with the character Sarah. There is some dialogue that takes place before, that's between the Dr. Zeros or whatever it was, and yourself. That will happen every time you're inside the room, but the things that happen after, beyond this point, will only happen if you don't die. Obviously I don't want people to die, spawn down there and still have dialogue going. That's kind of the opposite of what I want. This is just a pulse limiter. I just want one tick to go through into this torch. And the way I have it so that you don't have dialogue continuing after you die, I've turned this into an AND gate before the rest of the dialogue starts. This is another command block. It's basically doing the same as what this one is doing, but there's no level criteria or anything like that. So all of the time that someone's in that specific place, this comparator will be on. So if they're in that place, this torch will be off. This will send one tick to this torch. Both of those torches will be off. And this will tick once, which will send a pulse through the rest of the dialogue. Okay, and as that torch turns on, this will go through here as well, all through all of this delay. All of this is doing is checking that the person has the right criteria, just in case I've missed something. I don't want people that have died come back and straight away get given a level, which is what this command block is doing. The only thing it does is just give the player one level. That's important for the door that opens, or this hidden chamber or whatever. This is the door here. The pistons are obviously open the entire time. This command block is testing for when the player is given one level. So when this command block is activated, they'll be given one level. This will test that they have one level, and these pistons right here will retract to open the door. If we go back to this bit, this is where the redstone splits. Another pulse limiter here, just one tick to go through. This is to go inside the building. So it'll come all the way around here. This is mainly a sort of visual thing for the player, so that they can see that something's going to happen when it gets to here. This is the repeater that they have to break in order to not die. I always forget to put that back, but I've remembered this time, that's okay. And it comes out the back around here. So if the person breaks the repeater beyond here, none of this will get activated. This is obviously the trapdoor. So what we have, it'll come all around here. This is an RS NOR latch, so it will retract this piston, which will drop you down into the floor. The delay will go around, and it will close it again. So it'll open up, you will fall down, and then it'll close. So then there's no way to get out. Okay, these are the places where you get spawned into. So this will be the first one. After you drop yourself into there, this will be the first room that you go into. I'm not going to open it up, it's just, we've seen this before basically. This is the back of the button that you press to start the map. What this does is basically make sure that the player has everything reset, so that everything inside the white prison sort of thing works. It sets the time and resets the weather terrain there. Make sure the player's level is 0. The first command block in the white room will only work if the player is level 0. So obviously once they get given the level 1, we won't start the dialogue again. We only see that once. And if they die and get spawned into this one, these are the exact same commands. The only difference is we have the hint on the back. This is just 2 command blocks that tell you the hint. This is the redstone clock that powers the entire corridor. This is what makes the dialogue come up. We split it in 2 places. That's obviously the second part over there. This is how it comes all the way to the start here. The white, I can't remember what they're called. Those blocks basically, those are to let myself know where the point is that it tests for. So inside here, in the middle of the corridor, that's the spot that the command block is testing for, which will be this one right here. So if a player that's level 1 is in that specific place, it will send a redstone signal to here, which will add a level. The reason for this is I didn't want people to walk across to the end in the middle somewhere, then walk back, get the dialogue again. So the way this works is, if they're a level 1, that's when all of this other stuff will get powered. Because that powers this command block, which gives another level, they'll be level 2. So if they leave and come back, they'll be level 2, and this won't power. This is just a little bit of the dialogue. There's not much to this bit. It gets a little bit more complicated on the second part, but it just looks more complicated than it is really. The clock runs all the way over to this side and powers this block. So obviously we know we're level 2 as we get to here. And this will be the character Sarah explaining that you need to jump down. This will be the same deal as the corridor part before, give you another level. So now you're not level, where is it? You're not level 2 anymore, you're level 3, so you won't see any of that dialogue anymore. A bit more happens here. We start to have some things where we change the weather to clear. Obviously by this part you will have been teleported away basically. Not sure where that... No, the reason that I've got the I'm changing the weather before we teleport the player, which is this one, I believe. I guess. Yeah. Just checking what those is, I can't remember. It's a long time since I actually looked at these parts, so I have to refresh my memory a bit. So we changed the weather while we're still standing up on the end. That is because the weather doesn't really change for like 5 to 10 seconds or something. By the time we get to this command block here where you teleport away, it is actually still dark when you're up there. And it's still raining, which is the main point. I did have a lot of trouble teleporting them into this. This is the black sort of enclosed space where I try to give the illusion that time is passing. When you're on the ledge here, you're informed to jump down. The problem was, if you jump down at exactly the right / wrong time, you get to around here, and that's when you teleport. You teleport into the black sort of room, and all of this space that you've fallen down, you get given fall damage for, which I didn't really expect at all. That's a bit of a pain. That killed me almost every time, if I got it right. It wasn't really that often that I was having it happen, but every time it did happen, it caused a lot of problems. The way that I've solved this really is, I think for 2 ticks, I changed the player's game mode to creative. So you might have noticed earlier when I fell down and got teleported into the black room, you do hear the falling sound, but because you're in creative mode, you don't take any damage. And then 2 ticks later, I hope that's too quick of time for anyone to break any blocks or anything. Obviously, if you know this and you play the map, don't try and break any blocks. Then you just changed back into adventure mode. Once you're in this, we have the dialogue come up here that says the following morning. I will actually go into how you get coloured and italics text in command blocks. I'll do that another time. There'll be several more command blocks that I'll need to do that for. This changes the time, so when you get teleported into the little house down there, it's morning basically, and this will be the teleport command here. Right. The whole thing is really a work in progress. The trees, I should have probably explained this earlier. You might have noticed that they are massive. These aren't the trees that I have actually built myself. I can't remember the user's name. I actually completely forgot I was going to be showing this. This is someone's custom tree repository. So the idea that he's made a load of trees basically, and he's going to let people put them into adventure maps and everything. I'll link the thread and obviously give credit to him in the actual map for them. They were very, very helpful. This is the first room. Here's our good friend Darius, and this is a sign for me as well. Oh, that wasn't. That was a bit of a mistake. I didn't really want that to happen, but that doesn't matter. Underground. This looks like it's going to get a bit complicated. The only thing that's really happening is the same thing as before. There's another clock down here that's making sure the person is the right level when they're in the right places, and this is just all of the dialogue that's going through. As you can see, dialogue is going through, activates the command blocks as we get there. All of these white slabs that we see around the map, around the bottom here, this is where every single house in the village is. I might not have redstone for every single house, but when we get to say places over here, this is the mansion sort of thing. This is where Chief Forres lives. It's the same deal again, it's just more dialogue. I believe that's all I have to explain this time. Hopefully anything wasn't very confusing. If there is anything you are confused by, I will be happy to go back and explain how things work. Hopefully you enjoyed it. That's it really. Next time, there's a couple of bits over there I'll probably explain. Next time hopefully we'll be able to actually build something. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. See you next time.